Hello, welcome back. We are in Dubious Diamond Invitational, and we are in the playoff bracket here. We have the semifinal match between Andrew and MJ. And yeah, we have MJ right here.
Hello.
I believe for the first time joining us. And
For the whole thing. It's so funny. I've been a little dark horse in this tournament, and then now
yeah,
I'm at the top four.
yeah, I know we have MJ dominating this whole tournament. We actually get to see him for the first time. So I mean, MJ, you've done many things. I feel like I know you just personally from just playing VGC and
Yeah,
meeting you and enjoying being around you. But I think you're like eight. What is your tag? Is like AtrixMJ?
AtrixMJ. I do.
Gotcha. And I see you on like different channels all the time. That I think you do. Yes, you do like art for
I am.
so many things.
I'm a YouTuber if I don't have a YouTube channel. So that's. I'm only on other people's stuff currently, but I've been around. Yeah,
Well,
Chicago BGC.
we're very glad to have you both for commentary and for the tournament here. So we have Andrew against MJ again. The deal for this tournament is that we drafted Pokemon and we drafted moves and abilities that we could put onto these Pokemon that they don't normally get. And so MJ's been kind of dominating his bracket with Drizzle Zapdos, which has been
Yeah,
absolutely nuts. So, I was going to ask you, what are you most scared of here on Andrew's side?
definitely Deoxys
I was,
download and life form.
I was going to say it might have just appeared on screen.
This
Uh,
was Deoxys. I remember being one of the first Pokemon drafted, and it's just like Andrew made a monster as soon as he possibly could. And it's like,
yeah,
yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. No, it's I feel like I definitely kind of underestimated just how strong that was going to be. I mean, it's faster than everything and hits harder than anything else in the meta,
Yeah.
which is in the meta of our
In
stupid
our
tournament.
meta, yeah. Thankfully though, Deoxys' one like biggest weakness is that it just doesn't have defense. And thankfully for me, my Hariyama can stop it from doing damage regardless of anything else. Like if it wants to protect, okay, sure. It's not doing crazy amounts of life orb download boosted damage like it can do to everybody else. That's how Andrew got to top four, was just ripping through things with Deoxys.
No, I mean I think it's really smart too because Hariyama it has fake out of course to hit with priority this turn, but then you also have bullet punch, so even after turn one, you're still threatening that Deoxys constantly with that Pokemon.
Yeah.
So it makes a lot of sense to be leading it here. Interesting to see the fake out into the Jirachi there. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
half damage with a fake out is insane.
That is nuts.
I remember
You
my
just
Hariyama's just max attack.
you
There's
just
nothing to
never
do.
see that.
It's Hariyama's only stat, really. Is HP and attack. It's got max in both.
I guess if you think about it, since it doesn't get stab bullet punch, fake out and bullet punch just do the same
About the same
damage.
power, yeah. So I was happy to see this because in my head, what I'm going through in that turn, fake out Trick Room is such a just unanimously good thing to do in VGC because if they have their own fake out, okay, what can Andrew do? Fake out Psycho Boost my Hariyama and kill it? Yeah, for sure. But then I guaranteed get Trick Room.
Yeah.
I know my Jirachi had clicked Trick Room on that turn, and I'm actually going to do it again on this turn as well because now
Yeah.
I threatened the bullet punch. Like, I think I did get kind of, I don't want to say lucky, but it's definitely a better situation for me.
I mean, and I think a lot of it goes into prep too. It's like this Hariyama is threatening this Deoxys so much.
Yeah.
And it's like I think Andrew. Oh, I mean they do have taunt. But I think Andrew kind of slightly mishandled the first turn by like
Yeah.
getting that fake out chip. But you
I
you.
just made I'm about to like that, bro.
Was like, oh, we're about to, MJ clearly just told me that they went for Trick Room, but no, MJ of the past
Yeah. Even
knows what's up.
myself.
This it is open team sheet, so you probably did see.
I probably saw it on it. I was like,
there
okay.
there was taunt as a possibility. So now we have double priority threatened here. So yeah, I mean I think Andrew's been able to do so well in this tournament so far because he's leveraged the Deoxys just with so much skill. He's got double follow me users on his
True.
team as well.
Both of which are very bulky. One being a shuffle. That's crazy.
But this Deoxys is in just a really just not great situation where I think right now you're threatening a KO on both slots.
Both with priority moves, yeah. And I think, was it this turn actually? There will be a situation in at least one of these games that we're about to watch where it's Dragonite staring down Weavile, and I did not click Extreme Speed. I don't remember if that's this one, Due in part to, by the way, Ice Shard and Extreme Speed having the same priority in this game. I remember we learned that in this.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. And it's Technician boosted I almost called it Chin Pow.
Wait.
So
I mean,
the
it's kind of the same sort of thing. Oh yeah, I mean, because that was Technician boosted. That might have just downed the
I
Dragonite.
think it would have, and I also power predicted the Deoxys to switch. I figured
That's
I
crazy.
figured that just sending two different like priority moves into the same slot or into both slots to get a kill is way too obvious. So I was like, I can just hard read the turn.
Wait, so did you know this turn that Ice Shard would have moved before Extreme Speed?
Yes, I did. I knew that.
Because even after playing the tournament, I did not know that until you just told me.
So I read the Ice Shard into the Dragonite, so I switched back to my Steel type, and I close combated the switch.
Dang.
So it sets me up for another turn of threatening Trick Room to go.
Because I was just thinking, oh, MJ's got such a great pin, but MJ said, nah. I'm just gonna predict exactly what you're gonna do, get in a great position, and then now like 3 bonds are kind of in critical condition on Andrew's side.
Yeah, this is why I like playing really good players the most, is because yeah, in that position where it was 2 priority moves, it made so much sense to do that. I probably wouldn't have gone down on Dragonite. I have a lot of bulk, but even still, it's like there's one out for Andrew there, and it's like a switch into his Follow Me Electrifire to redirect a priority move or something, and like not dying on Weavile or like killing my dragon. Like it felt like I put him in a position where he really only had one way to wiggle out, and I was just like, okay, well, I know you're good at the game. I know you're gonna wiggle out like that. Let me close combat.
I know it's really fun facing people you know sometimes because you're just like, I know you're good enough to see this, and so I can call it.
And he definitely
adds so much to the game.
The Ice Shard damage from Weavile to Hariyama did almost half. Yeah, my Dragonite would have got smoked. This guy doesn't have multi-scale in this game. So.
That was pretty crazy to see, I will say. Okay, so that Thunderbolt did not do a lot. Yeah, this Jirachi is. Oh wait, no, you went for U-turn again. I guess predicting the. Wait, is Weavile still alive?
Weavile is still alive. I'm bullying it like crazy.
Well, but it lived that bullet punch. I thought it went down. I think it lived. It lived on like 1. So yeah, I mean, interesting position. Oh, excuse me here. Interesting position, calling the taunt again. But again, it just like I've got water. I think I might have the hiccups pretty too much. So
what am I doing here with Omastar on the field? They're both at 1 and 6 HP, so it's like they're gonna die to my spread moves, my only spread moves. But I don't have my Deoxys on or my Zapdos on the team to set Drizzle.
Yeah, it is crazy to see. Like we have Drizzle's Zapdos, which is like I think like the most. I think what proved to be kind of the strongest Pokemon in the tournament, and it was not brought this game, in part because I think this is Cloud9 or Airlock Electivire, one of the two, and so it makes sense to leave that behind there. So let's see, what is Weavile going for here?
One shot by
does go down. Yeah, it does go down.
The helping hand from
that is crazy to see Hariyama go down to 2 Ice Shards.
That's
I mean, you have no thick fat on Hariyama. It's clear body in this, and then you have Technician Weavile. But that does leave Omastar to be able to knock out both.
I think that was the logic there. It was like, okay, you really want to get rid of my Bullet Punch guy so that your Deoxys can actually play the game, but in doing so, I'm pinning pretty much everything. Water Spout is just a broken move. That's the move I drafted on Omastar. Is like,
no, it is pretty crazy. So that does set you up well. Oh, and I think this is not what I think what Andrew would want to have in the back here. Because if it was like maybe Shuckle Deoxys, maybe Andrew could do something. Because I think the Shuckle's got Taunt to maybe try and stop Trick Room, Follow Me Away stuff, and KO the Omastar. I mean, it's a big ask still.
That's right.
But it could potentially be a pathway.
Especially.
But yeah, with nothing protecting the Deoxys and with all the priority on your team, I think this is just a really, really difficult end game for Andrew here.
Yeah, especially because the Staraptor is choice banded, and so my pin here is I have a guy who could die to Brave Bird and Dragonite, but then I'm a Rock type on Omastar. So you can't lock yourself into Brave Bird. And if you want to kill my Omastar with close combat, well, my other guy is also a flying type. So
yeah, and then not to mention the Jirachi in the back that's extremely bulky. He's got leftovers at near full health.
Yeah. So as long as I kill Deoxys ever, I win the game. And I have 3 Pokemon, Andrew has 2, I'm just playing the numbers game at that point. It's just, I think for the rest of the game, every attack will go into the Deoxys slot.
No, I mean, and I think he just picked up so much ground early on. And it was really just like, I think he got those first couple turns right. Then Andrew was having to play defensively on the back foot, switching around. And you were able to make good plays and kind of cover for that throughout. So yeah, no, it's a really interesting game one, and it's like, I don't know, these are just like two such powerful teams. It's like you could easily see how like if like Andrew had led differently or been able to get some attacks off with the Deoxys, we could have seen like a very different picture to this game. But yeah, Dragonite takes that and yeah, and unfortunately for this Raptor, it couldn't go for an extreme speed next turn. Well, it doesn't even live to the next turn, because this is a full health water spout here.
No, it's not.
And yeah, well played, Staraptor.
I love strong spread moves, because there are positions where it feels like you're just clicking follow me with them. It's like, okay, do you want to stop this spread move from doing so much damage to both Pokemon? That means you have to attack it. Mm-hmm. That means I could just click 2 attacks.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's a really interesting point there, where it's like sometimes if you're threatening so much with one slot, you know the opponent's going to target there or like lose, right?
Yep.
And so it can just do a whole lot there, or help you so much with potentially the other slot making progress. And so yeah, here I think Andrew's just trying to think like, okay, what are we gonna do for game 2?
Oh yeah,
trying to game plan and prep, because I think this is Deoxys doesn't have any spread moves, and so this game is wrapped up.
This kind of like situation in a game, especially game 1, you always know you're playing a really good player when it's like guys just sitting there mashing protect in the end game to think more about the next game. It's like, oh, that's just scary, bro. I'm like, what do you mean you have a 33% chance to think more about the next game? Like, that's so crazy. That's like even. That's how good of a pool of players that we had at this event.
Truly, it's like I think we have just kind of like all the best players from our area that we brought in, and the people who might be some of the best players in our area who were not a part of this tournament. A lot of them are part of
the next one.
That is
subtle foreshadowing.
That is a ton of fun. Yeah, I don't know if we have posted on that yet, but it's one of the most fun things I've ever done with Pokemon. So you're gonna enjoy it a whole lot.
Definitely same.
We are on to game 2 here with Andrew and MJ. I think what I'm most interested in is how can Andrew make use of that Deoxys here? And specifically, I think we're going to see a lot more follow me in this set. Okay, we actually see the same leads on Andrew's side here. So we're going to see Deoxys and Weavile. So clearly, I think Andrew just thinks that's strong into a lot of what you can do. And I think it's looking that's looking solid for Andrew. Because I don't think... Yeah, Andrew is threatening the Shedinja with Taunt or Pursuit. And Jirachi's in a good spot, but Jirachi is not threatening as much as maybe other mons on your team. How do you feel about this position turn 1 here, MJ?
Looking at this, even I don't remember what I was thinking at the time, but I'm looking at it right now in current time, and I'm like, how is my Shedinja getting out of this alive? And Shadow Ball is like devious. Maybe I did some mental math in between rounds, and I thought, okay, maybe Shadow Sneak from Shedinja's stab move can kill Deoxys from full. I mean, it took half from Hariyama.
This is a mind game though, because if Andrew doubles into the Shedinja protects, Jirachi goes for Trick Room, then all of a sudden Andrew's in a horrible position.
Oh yeah.
And then. And so Shedinja could potentially use that to switch out. And the Jirachi's pretty safe here. Jirachi's pretty safe. So we actually do see the Deoxys switch. That's interesting.
Probably Andrew also kind of recognizes the Shadow Sneak could kill it, especially switching into defensive Pokemon like this.
So I think that makes sense.
What I would have done there, and what I even would have done right now, is Shadow Sneak the guy who would have died to it, and then U-turn with Jirachi. Because Taunt is so active.
Yeah, Taunt is a big thing.
I wouldn't want to just play
Wow.
Pop a demon. I read it.
But I mean, I there you're just saying.
Oh, I forgot the trick room.
Well, I mean, because one of MJ's like, I'm too glad I didn't know it. Well, I mean, yeah, and Shuckle being asleep is just so useful because that's one thing that just cannot keep Andrew's kind of frailer attacking mons alive, which is what his whole team's built around.
Yeah.
So yeah, Andrew doesn't like Trick Room. Andrew does not like to have his Follow Me mon put to sleep. What was I going to say? But I think your turn one play does make sense though, because it's like to stop that sleep powder, they basically need to double
it
into Shedinja. In order to stop the Trick Room, you need to taunt the Jirachi. That's the only way. So you're guaranteed to get one of those off, and it just turns out that you got to kind of have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, right. So it's one of those, like, I'm clicking the move like it's Follow Me, right? Like, if you want to stop this, you have to double attack it. Mm-hmm. So
which is again such a big risk, because Protect Trick Room would have been devastating.
I feel like double attacking it is just so much worse for me though. Like, if I lose the Shedinja, how do I do it to Deoxys? That's my guy who one shots it. So okay, maybe.
Yeah, I think Andrew, like Andrew is wishing that maybe they had Shadow Balled there, taken a sleep on the Deoxys, perhaps seeing the Trick Room went up, and perhaps taunted the other slot or doubled in the Shedinja. But it's just tough because yeah, if you stand with the Deoxys, Shadow Sneak can just knock it out, because that's a stab priority move on a presumably heavily invested in attack Shedinja.
Okay, actually, I'm remembering this turn. I don't think Andrew wanted to switch to Electivire there.
Ooh, because, yeah, I don't imagine you wanted to fake out either, so I think he might have timed out there.
Yeah. Oh, did he fake out with Weavile?
Yeah, I just faked out with Weavile.
This was the timeout turn. I do remember that.
That is rough, because, yeah, Weavile goes down, and now we are left with a Deoxys and Trick Room that has got an Electivire to support it, but that's pretty much all it's got here.
It feels like I just took 2 kills. A Pokemon's asleep, I killed a guy, Trick Room's up, Deoxys dies to everything.
Yep.
I have 4 guys alive. Like, this is...
Yeah, no, this is a very, very difficult situation. So basically, if you kill... If the Electivire gets knocked out, the Deoxys can no longer roam free. And so that's kind of the situation we're at here.
And you've seen this thing on Bobby's channel before, under Trick Room. This Hariyama is absolutely nuts the entire tournament for me. I love this Pokemon.
No, it was such a great call. It was definitely not something on my radar, kind of as a Trick Room sweeper. But I think, especially for your team, if you were afraid of, I think specifically kind of like Sharpie's team was scary for a lot of us. I think it's really good there to keep the Tyranitar scared and in check. And then in general, it's just been a fantastic Trick Room sweeper.
So much damage. I think in the last game you saw it did like 80% to Electivire switching in, which is crazy.
Yeah, which is just nuts. And then yeah, being able to just with Bullet Punch Fake Out defeat the scariest Pokemon in the tournament pretty much.
Okay, in Gen 9 this would be game over. It'd be Fake Out Electivire, attack from Deoxys with Shedinja, game over. But I think Follow Me and Fake Out have a different interaction.
Yeah, Follow Me goes before Fake Out.
Yeah.
Is Fake Out like the same priority as like Ice Shot?
I think so.
Yeah. This is Gen 4 is so weird.
Really?
So I mean, so much of this we were kind of learning as the tournament went on.
Oh my god, I forgot about that feeling where people would discuss mid-tournament like Gen 4 mechanics, and I'm just like, oh, my team gets stronger. Oh, my team's amazing because of that. Oh, whoa, what do you mean? When we get to finals, this will also come back, but I'll save that for then.
Yeah, and for me, I feel like I wasn't helped by things I learned, because we realized Parrish maybe wasn't as strong as I thought it was.
It's okay, because I thought the time was up already, right? Yeah.
Because I tied a game. Okay, so Shuckle is coming in here to take some hits there. Hariyama's loses some defenses here, and Sleep Powder is going to go out. Is this Lum on Electivire though, or is it something else? Ooh, that's rough.
Yeah, Sugarberry.
Yeah. I'm wondering, like, does Andrew have Lum somewhere on the team? I don't think Andrew does.
No. So
I mean,
I'm sitting there with a Pokemon advantage, a guy asleep. It basically feels like a 4-2 position, and I have speed control in my favor. I know that Sleep Powder can miss. I don't care. If I get any of that off, like you said, I'm having my cake and I'm eating it too. And now I'm just trying to cash out on it.
I mean, yeah, because it's like, if Deoxys is on the field next to an asleep partner, Deoxys is done for. Based on if you have Shedinja on the field, if you have Hariyama, if you have Dragonite, you have so many ways to knock it out if there's no Follow Me.
Yeah.
And so being able to put both of the Follow Me users asleep is just fantastic. And so basically Andrew's out here is Andrew needs a Follow Me user to wake up, to survive with enough HP to be able to bring in Deoxys and hope that Deoxys can pick up 4 KOs.
Yeah.
But that's pretty tough.
And Trick Room gets to
pretty
go away.
tough for the stage. I think there's taunt on there's taunt on the Electivire and on the Weavile. So I think that's the kind of the trade-off Andrew made with sleep.
Mhm.
Was just kind of hoping that Andrew could taunt any mons hoping to go for sleep or taunt any mons threatening status, and so foregoing a Lumberry for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, when speed control's reversed, that becomes a lot tougher.
Right. Andrew's team absolutely has options. His is definitely more of like the hyper offensive style of teams. I think both teams, like as a whole, I think were very fundamentally well like structured. Me with my weather mode and like fake out Trick Room, both of which being, you know, two things that you have to prep for very differently if you know I'm going to lead them.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Andrew just has two follow me guys and a really strong like nuke. That alone is enough to like, you know, burst through teams. I mean, he's top 4 with it, right? I'm sure he was doing that all day and it worked. But I think the fundamentals of like not even just the Pokemon on the field, but the strategies at play on both sides. Fake out Trick Room will. It kind of exists to beat the hyper offense strategy of play, where you're just throwing down strong moves with a fast Pokemon. I mean, if the speed orders change, like you said, yeah, that completely.
Yeah, 180 is kind of Andrew's attempts to kind of take on most teams, and I mean, I think the thing is, it's for the purposes of our tournament and our draft, it was so difficult to build a team, right?
Yeah.
Because it basically you had to make like every single decision in such a short period of time to get everything working.
Yeah.
And I think what your team does that no other team in the tournament really did is you have so many different speed tiers that you can beat an opponent at. Where you can lead with Zapdos. We see critical hit on
not necessary, bro.
critical hit on the Shuckle. But we see it's like you can lead Amistar Zapdos, and then you've got this like basically the fastest thing in the format, and Zapdos, which is base 100 speed, has got some middling speed as well. You have priority to all over your team to hit extremely quickly. Then you also have your Trick Room mode, and I don't think there was any other team with like that, you know, plus 200 speed down to like maybe 40 speed and Trick Room. I don't think there's any other team with that much variety. Right. And I think it just gave you a lot of options into a lot of different types of teams.
Oh yeah, Omastar felt like Torkoal sometimes, where he's just like a Trick Room spread move, blow up guy. I was like, okay, that's cool. I like that.
I knew about that because I was thinking Omastar is so fast, but without Rain in Trick Room.
That's why I wanted it in the draft, was because it's like, okay, I do have that like you're saying, that gradient of speed, and I knew I wanted that going into it. Everyone thought I was going to do Kingdra with Water Spout, like Sudai Kyogre, or
I mean, that's definitely what I thought. I was shocked when I saw Amistar.
I think Ludicolo was another fun one that
because I was looking at it, I was like, MJ made a Rain team, and like the only water type on MJ's Rain team doesn't resist water.
Yes.
I was like, huh. But it worked out extremely well for this tournament, especially with Dry Skin Jirachi. I think that helps a lot too. If anyone's trying to use your Rain against you,
I do think this.
So we do actually see that like Andrew's Pokemon are all woken up. We do see a lot of damage coming out from the Deoxys. We do see a Thunderbolt KOing the Hariyama, but we do have Jirachi coming out with U-turn. Oh, so the Deoxys does still survive. And the Electivire survives. Hold on a second.
I believe it's 2v3 though.
I do believe it is 2v3. But that's still not a terrible position here. Because basically, so Shedinja can potentially shadow. Ooh, we've got extreme speed Shadow Sneak here, don't we? Which is pretty strong. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well,
Jirachi. I think Trick Room is currently.
I think it just ended. I think it's ended. But you potentially Shadow Sneak, Electivire, set up Trick Room. I think Shedinja's still got its Sash.
You know what? I'm doing it again. I'm literally clicking Trick Room like it's following me, because it's like, okay, if Trick Room goes up, I win.
Yeah, no, it just there's nothing that can be done from that point forward.
Yeah.
And so here. Yeah, I think Shedinja has its Sash, which is just like...
Nope, it's been broken.
Oh, it's been broken?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I haven't been paying attention.
It's the same concept, though. Like, if Andrew wants to hit it with Deoxys to kill it, first of all, you need to get around Shadow Snake, which means Electivire would have to follow me, and then that means
would go
Trick
down.
Room's going up.
Yep.
because Electivire is the only thing that stops Trick Room from going up.
Yeah, no, you definitely had kind of options here. So I think here what Andrew's hoping for is, I guess, that you would have targeted the Deoxys and you did not.
Scott, replay right. Wow.
Because I guess what Andrew's hoping for there, of course, Andrew's a good player, so like he's always seeing the outs. Is like, okay, target the Deoxys with Shadow Sneak,
Yep.
and then Thunderbolt full para on Jirachi. I think would be the out from that position. But now it is.
You know what?
It is game set match.
This is another fundamental thing. Electivire didn't have Protect, so I think it's
yeah.
flashy to not hit the
Yeah,
protecting Deoxys.
But you just saw it's like I can always pick up this KO.
Right. Yeah.
And then yeah, if you attack the Jirachi and maybe defeat it, well then I can just Shadow Sneak you the next turn. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And I mean that's open team sheets too as well. And it's like we were all kind of like watching each other's matches as the tournament went on, so I think it just made sense to have open sheets.
Yeah. Knowing this was open cheats, I do think just the fact that we're Scarlet Violet players, I think informed a lot about the way the tournament and like the best teams like ended up filtering out. Is that like, okay, I have fake out Trick Room because I like doing that in Scarlet and Violet. Andrew has Follow Me Strong Attack because he likes doing that in Scarlet and Violet. So it's like,
yeah, and Riley I think was playing with Typhlosion both at that time,
and that guy brings that to everything. So it's like.
Well, anyway, congratulations, MJ. We've got our first finalist here. Yeah, congratulations. I think undefeated so far in the tournament in 8 games.
In 8 games and in sets. I didn't even go to a game 3 at this point. It was only 2-0s the entire tournament.
Dang. Well, yeah, that is a fantastic run, a really well-built team. Congratulations. And yeah, stay tuned. For the next semifinal, make sure you subscribe so you are all up to date on that. More DDI coming soon.